What's going on there, hitters? This is Brian Vielman, your LTM, Lead Team Motivator here at HIIT Fitness Group in Carrollton. Look us up on Facebook or email us at hitfitnessgroup.gmail, or excuse me, the hitfitnessgroup@gmail.com. There, got it right. Anyways, just look us up and send us an email if you got questions or if you want to come check out the facility. We had a real great run with the first group of hitters this past Saturday. Everybody ended up pretty much signing up because they got motivated and they saw the workouts were outstanding. And like I tell everybody, the joins, we will take care of you in every sense of the way. We're going to teach you about nutrition. We're going to guide you through it. We're going to keep you motivated, mental health, everything that comes together in getting a better, leaner, stronger, fitter body. But anyways, one of the things I want to talk about today to you guys is macronutrients, and it has to do with nutrition. Okay, macronutrients, guys, is a term used for certain nutrients that are consumed in larger quantities. Okay, larger quantities. And I don't mean a surplus, but just larger quantities. And what are those macronutrients, you ask? Protein, carbohydrates, and then fats. Okay, they're all macronutrients and they're all essential to the body. The body needs them. In this video, I'm going to talk about protein. Next video, I'll talk about carbs, and then we'll talk about fats afterwards, okay? You also have micronutrients. Micronutrients involve anything that, well, basically micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, things like that, okay? So let's talk about protein a little bit, guys, because protein is very important, like it's the same thing for fat and carbohydrates. When we talk about protein, first thing you guys got to know, 1 gram of protein equates about 4 calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. If you ever go to the store and look at the daily value on a can of something, and if you look at the total calories, okay, and then you do the math based on how much carbs, how much protein, and how much fat you see in there, you'll see that it'll all add up, okay? And I'll tell you guys in a little bit what 1 gram of fat and 1 gram of carbs equals to. But 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, all right? So why is protein important, guys? Protein is very important that you consume it or you have it in your body, because it's going to be the main source of fuel that your body's going to use for recovery. Okay, protein is built up of a chain of amino acids, all right, and all those things basically assist with muscle recovery, all right. Muscle recovery meaning that when you exercise, okay, when you go to the gym and you haven't worked out in a while, and even if you haven't, you just switch your workout because you plateaued or whatever. And then you realize that, hey, you know what? You're sore, right? The next day, or usually if you work out hard enough, later that afternoon or evening, you're going to start feeling sore, okay? What happens is when you work out, especially doing resistance training, what you're doing, you're exerting the muscle to the point that you end up having what's called micro tears, small tears in your muscle tissue, okay? So what does the body do? The body recognizes this. Just like when you get sick and it releases all those defenses and stuff like that to get you healthier. The same thing happens with muscle tissue and protein. Okay, your body's going to use up that protein to rebuild those muscles. All right. So first thing is, again, for muscle recovery or muscle tissue repair. Next thing the protein is good for, okay, it's also for your immune system. Your body uses it for your immune system. That's what builds your immune system. If you don't take enough protein, guess what? Your body's probably going to have a weak immune system, okay? We want to usually get protein. The protein sources that we want to get are usually lean proteins. Why? Because we want to stay away from too much saturated fat. High fatty meats, like ribeye, stuff like that. Yeah, they got a lot of protein in them, but unfortunately, you end up kind of losing the battle on that side because why? They're higher in fat. And saturated fat for that matter. Not just fat, but saturated fat, which is no good. We don't want that, okay? There's other functions that protein has, guys. Excuse me. Got something in my mouth here. Anyways, many other functions that protein has, but you got to remember, it's essential that you consume enough protein. How much protein? It depends. It depends on what your goals are. It depends on how you're training. Typically, and I'll break it down real simple, if you're a bodybuilder, you're trying to get big, you're trying to look good for a show, you're going to find out that bodybuilders tend to consume 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per body weight. Why? Because they want to grow muscle, right? They want to get big. But then again, their training is different. Their training is different from compared to a triathlete. Okay, a triathlete or even a marathon runner, their demand for energy is different than a bodybuilder's. Okay, if you come here and you train with HIIT Fitness, guess what? Your protein intake is going to vary. Also, is going to vary from person to person. I can't say I weigh about 140 pounds right now, and I tend to consume about 1 to 1.5 grams of protein myself per my body weight, my current body weight, or the body weight that I'm trying to get to. And what ends up happening is I can't, I get another guy that shows up and he weighs the same. Well, guess what? Maybe depending on how he's training, his demand is going to be higher. His intake has to be higher. So that's some of the things that we work with here, okay? And in the next video, again, I'll talk about carbs. But know for sure that when you come to HIIT Fitness Group, we will dedicate ourselves to get you the results you need by doing what we call continuously adaptive, okay, or adapting nutrition, all right? Because what happens is you got to understand that as your body changes and you put more muscle mass, guess what you need to do? You need to adapt to it. You need to either increase your protein intake or reduce it depending on where you're at, okay? And if we get somebody that comes here and they lose massive amounts of body fat and they get better shape and then they tell me, hey, I want to start training for marathons. Well, guess what? It changes again. Your body is constantly adapting. Same goes for your nutrition. Next video, I'll discuss carbs. All right?